Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. M. I don't know how well this is going to turn out or if you'll be able to hear anything or everything that I'm saying, but I'll keep talking anyway. With one cup of coffee in my left hand and the laptop in the other, this is how I start my day. As I stated in my introduction, I am not, nor have I ever been technically inclined. I do not see this as a fault, but more or less as a tool. I guess you can say I'm rebelling against the industrial age with my hammer in one hand and a big wheel in the other. I have always been drawn to nature and everything it has to offer. I love everything from towering trees to the insects that they provide shelter to. I elected to study wildlife management because I believe it is a substantial tool in the fight against the degradation of biodiversity, which we all know is important, especially today, and its impending effects on all future generations of species. That includes our own. I guess you could say wildlife management is the sledgehammer in the fight to combat the loss of biodiversity. My heart breaks every time human influences negatively impact ecosystems, and then the lack of support conferred to affected wildlife when measured up against the welfare of the economy. Wildlife management and the implementation of its policies and regulations that govern its practices are crucial in the development of sustainability. I guess you could say it's kind of like giving Mother Nature a hand. More than that, wildlife management is a necessary tool to combat the impending environmental changes that threaten biodiversity every day. I know many of us have seen restoration plans or any wildlife management practices or methods that have been implemented, and notice that some of the largest variables in that is like climate change or global warming, because those are things that we can only assume what effects it's going to have on wildlife, like for flora or fauna. A lot of people don't realize that while our species continues to grow, the pressures on natural resources continue to impede or restrict other species. Wildlife management not only protects those species and provides the necessary resources and conservation, but it also includes population control and restorations. It's like being a fish and game warden. While your job is to regulate wildlife management rules in regards to hunting and fishing practices, you're also there to mitigate threats to certain wildlife populations. Not really an oxymoron, but it serves its purpose. It's interesting to learn what it takes to ensure the delicate balance between man and nature, and what proclivities one person can have that can tip the scales in sustainment, containment, or even the viability of good wildlife management practices. I feel as though by taking this course and learning all that needs to be learned about wildlife management in the time that we're given, especially if we're trying to make a significant difference in the world today, would be extremely gratifying for me, as I'm sure it would be for others. Not to mention, essentially my sledgehammer against the Industrial Revolution. And I'm ready.